Hi there, this is Martin, and just thought I'd share a little story with you. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll get going. Uh, I have a confession to make. Um, a long time ago, about 20 years or so, I sold people mud. That's right, mud. You believe that? Not only did we sell them mud, because I worked with some partners, and there was more than just me, I wasn't the only one. And they lined up, waving their money, trying to get this mud from us. And of course, it wasn't just everyday mud, it was special mud. I mean, anybody can go out in the backyard, dump water in the dirt, mix it up, voila, you've got mud. You've got to be special to actually get mud that's worth selling. So I thought I would tell you about it and show you what we did, because I've got a couple samples here that I've saved over 20 some odd years, and we'll go from there, because I think there's an interesting idea behind selling people mud. First of all, I'll show you, well, the most interesting piece of mud. And I saved two pieces that I've worked on. Well, actually, I didn't work on any of them. These were friends of mine worked on them. Here's one, if you can see it. A lot of detail work in there. A lot of interesting, you can see back in the back, and there's the mud. And now that you've seen part of what it is that we did, I'll tell you how it worked. It started off as this mud. It was about the consistency of thick chocolate milk. You'd mix in clay and water and a little silica dust and spin it all together until it turns into this gooey, watery mud. Then you'd pour it into a mold, and you'd let that mold sit for 3 or 4 hours, depending upon how long it was, how long it took to get to the right thickness, because the mold would suck out the liquid from the mud, and so it would leave it lined. And you can see how thick it is. That's all kind of lined on the inside of the mold. So if you look at it and see there, the mold was kind of reversed. And then when you got enough, you dump the rest out, let it sit and dry, pop the mold open, take out the part while it's still wet, clean it up a little bit, let it sit on a rack. It'll dry up into what they call greenware. Then you clean it all up so that you don't have all the lines off of it. And then you put it in a kiln and fire it up 1,000 degrees for a few hours until it gets really hot. And when it gets that really hot, it dries out completely, and the mud changes into ceramic, which we're all familiar with. And then it's hard, it's solid, and it can last forever. So technically, we sold them ceramics, but it was all just mud. And we would put those together, paint them, you saw the work, wrap them up, and we drove up and down the West Coast selling our ceramics at Renaissance fairs, at Society for Creative Anachronist events, anywhere they would let us set up a booth and sell, we would, because that's how we made our money. And people would remember us. They would come back, and we would do specific shows. One year there'd be a show there, the next year they have another show, the next year, and we'd come back, and they would be in line to buy from us. And we sold all kinds of stuff. We had tiny little frogs with wings. We had little dragons that sat on the edge of bookshelves. You had others that kind of peeked over at your computer monitors. This was back when you had the big CRT monitors, which really was just starting to come in. A lot of people just put them on TVs. And when I first started thinking about this, and I was thinking, I sold people mud, but then I thought about it. It wasn't really mud. It was value-added mud. Because, you can go up to somebody and hand them a handful of mud and say, here, you want to buy this? And they're probably not going to take it up from you. But if you work on it and you deal with it right, and you clean it up and you fire it and you paint it and you spend some time and effort and make it, you can put together something that looks really nice. Something that people will buy, that they'll stand in line to get. Or you can put together something that is really useful, like this mug. And you see there's a chip there. This one's 20 years old, and I still have it. And to be honest, after about 7 years of selling, those are the only two pieces I kept, because they have a sentimental value to me. But the point I'm trying to get to is, if you add the value to the product, then I thought, well, that's what people were buying. This is useful. You walk around, you put water in it, you can drink out of it, you can put it upside down, stand a little candle on it, keep it light for nighttime, whatever. It was something useful, so they were buying that, weren't they? And then as I thought more and more about the whole idea of why someone buys something, it occurred to me that it wasn't really the value that we added. I mean, no one cares that we spent hours putting this thing together and painting it and making it all nice and sealing it with the sealer so that it would keep its colors right. And they don't care about that. They only care about the way it made them feel. They saw it, they liked it, they felt good, so they bought that feeling that the piece gave them. And so I'm thinking, what does that have to do with anything that we're doing right now? And still to this day, people buy feelings. People don't buy products. They think they buy products. We think we sell products. But ultimately, at the end, we sell ideas. We sell feelings. We sell beliefs. We sell things that make you feel a certain way. Whenever you're thinking about making a sale, if you're selling anything, if you're selling products online, if you're selling them in stores, whatever, think about why someone actually would buy what you're selling them. Because, I mean, seriously, why would anybody buy mud? If I offered you a handful of mud and said, here's mud, buy it, you wouldn't buy it. Truth of the matter is, as much mud is in this cup here, well, I could probably hold in my hand. About that much, not much. And why would anybody give you $10 for a handful of mud? Well, we formed the mud. We stuck the mud together. We made it useful. We sealed it up so that your drink won't soak into it. That's pretty nifty. It's a great idea. But they're not buying that. They're buying the feeling that they get. Even something as useful as a mug. There are hundreds of them. There are thousands of them. Why would they pick this one over that one? There's always a reason. So think about this for a little bit. Think about why you do things. And then I'm going to wrap this up by saying, if you're in internet marketing, if you're selling anything, anywhere, to anybody, the most important thing you need to know is, why do they need to buy? Why would they want to buy what you're selling? And it's not about how nifty it is, not about how square the box is, or how black the exterior is, or how blue the interior is. I don't know if you can see that there, see? And yeah, that's a little inside joke between me and my partner. He called this the apprentice mug, because our mugs were actually supposed to be black on the inside, and then whatever color we put on the outside, and he says the crazy apprentice got mistaken and backed it up. I know it's not as much funny when I tell it, but it's a lot better whenever it was there on, I guess you just had to be there. But anyway, it's not the product. I mean, if you have a lousy product, people buy lousy products all the time. People buy things that will kill them. I mean, you hear of cigarettes? Lots of people buy cigarettes, and they say, well, it's addictive. But think about it. Why did they start smoking in the first place? No one started smoking because they said, gee, I want to buy a product that is going to burn up and kill me in the end. No. There's a feeling that came with it. Maybe they were in the in crowd when they were young and, they smoked. Who knows? But you've got to get down and look at that feeling. Think about it. Why do you buy things? You can have all of the excuses, but if you cut right down to the heart of it, you buy something because of the way it made you feel. It triggered a memory in your mind of something that you liked, or it could help you do something that you want to do, and you want that feeling that you get from having that done. It's a product that will help you feel better about yourself. I mean, why do why do people buy the stuff to color your beard in? I mean, nobody wants to have that gray beard. No, it's got to be. It's not because you want your beard a different color. It's because you want to feel that feeling. As anybody can tell, I don't really care. See all the silver and gray in there? I've earned that. It's mine. I own it. So, getting on some time here. And I'm just going to wrap this up by saying, think about this. Whatever you're doing, we all sell something. We sell ourselves if we want to get a job. We convince people to like us. Whatever you're doing, it's selling something. And it's not what you think you're selling. Most of us have no idea what we're really selling. We all think it's the product. We all think it's the cool, nifty little thing. And really, their world is full of cool, nifty little things, and nobody buys them all. But they do buy some, and you got to figure out why. What they buy, what they don't buy, what they like, what they don't like, all of those things. And when it gets right down to it, it's a feeling. It's an inside the person feeling. And if you can if you can speak to that feeling, then you can sell them that product. And ultimately, they want to buy. They might not want to buy exactly what you're selling, but people want to buy things. They just don't want to be sold to. So give them the opportunity to buy. Find out what it is that they're looking for, why they might want that product, why that product will help them get what they want, and then help them. Because ultimately, the buying process is about a feeling that you get when you get something you want. So help them get that good feeling. That's a legitimate transaction. Buying a good feeling. That's what everything boils down to in sales. So I hope this helped you, got you thinking. Don't apply this to just sales. Expand. Take this and go wherever it is you think you can go. Just because I'm talking about selling mud and ceramics and whatever, use this idea for whatever you need and want. Don't limit yourself because I only talked about one subject. Expand it to everything you can put it into. And I'll talk to y'all later.